Hey everybody, Jeremy Markovich here. It's been a while, right? It's been, let me just check my watch here. It's been 2.5 years. It has been 2.5 years since I last put out an episode of Away Message. And you might have some questions, right? Like, where you been? What have you been doing? What are you up to? How come you haven't put out an episode until now? And why are you putting one out now? And are you going to put out more? I swear to you, I have answers to all of those questions. So first off, for the last 2 years, I have been working at Wake Forest University. I am the Director of Communications for the Program for Leadership and Character. Google that. It's extremely cool. I love my job. It is great. I also do a little bit of teaching as well. That's fun. On top of that, I have a newsletter. It's called the North Carolina Rabbit Hole. You can find it at ncrabbithole.com. Now, I don't want to paint with like a broad brush here, but I kind of feel like if you like Away Message, you will like this newsletter. It is at ncrabbithole.com. It comes out every Thursday. It is free if you want it to be. But again, check that out. It's been going for like 2.5 years now. It's a lot of fun. ncrabbithole.com. And if there is any kind of news to come out of this, I guess, it is that this podcast has a new home. It is now part of the North Carolina Rabbit Hole. So functionally, that doesn't actually mean too much for you. I mean, all the old episodes are still going to be wherever you're listening to them now. It just means they're going to, be there. But also, I guess maybe to explain why this all happened, I need to go way back to the beginning. So here's a story that I have told before, but I don't actually ever think I told this story on this particular podcast. So this got its start at Our State Magazine. And I got hired on there as a senior writer and editor back in 2015. And 2 years into it, I was rooting around in like a closet or something there. And I found this really nice microphone and recorder. And I was like, hey, are y'all using this? And they said, no, not really. Go knock yourself out. And so every time I hit the road to do a story, I would bring this recorder with me. I would get good audio. And I took all of that and made this podcast out of it. I made season 1 of Away Message in 2017, and then that led to season 2, and then season 3, and then season 4. It really just grew and grew and grew beyond my wildest expectations, and had a lot of fun doing it. And when I decided to leave Our State, the podcast did not leave with me. Now, that's actually a blessing in disguise. Maybe not for you, the listener, but for me, I got to focus on my new job. I got to take a break for a little bit, and I don't think I would have, launched the North Carolina Rabbit Hole. I don't think I would have launched the newsletter if I would have still been able to do episodes of Away Message. I just don't think it would have happened. And so the newsletter has grown and grown and grown. It's been a lot of fun to do, and a little while ago, a few months ago, I just thought, what the heck? Maybe let me just check and see if I can bring the podcast with me, finally. And got in touch with some folks at Our State Magazine, and they were very gracious, and they said, sure. So, in short, the reason why you haven't heard from me for 2.5 years is because I did not have the keys to this podcast for 2.5 years. And the reason why you're hearing from me now is because finally I do. I mean, that's kind of simple, right? And if there is any question that I continue to get about this podcast, it is, when are you going to make some more episodes, right? The short answer is, well, I don't know. For one thing, I'm in a different place professionally than I used to be. My kids are getting older. I love spending time with my wife and the family and everything. And it's been a really nice time for that. And professionally, I just have a lot going on. I really, really do. And another quick fact about this podcast, it took about an average of 40 hours of labor to put together 1 half-hour episode of this podcast, like roughly. It's a lot of work. It's been great, but it's a lot of work. And so, going forward, what's the long-term plans for this? Is it going to sound like it used to? Is it going to come out as often as it used to? I don't know. For now, though, I would not have made you listen to, what is this, about 5 minutes of me yammering on without at least giving you something, right? So here is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of experimentation. Over the next month or so, we are going to put out a couple of more episodes of this podcast. One that is kind of newly topical and relevant. One is, it was a lot of fun anyways for me to do as a newsletter, and I'm going to give it a try as a podcast. And then there's one, and I'm being serious here. There is an episode of Away Message that we recorded that we had plans to put out that we never put out. We have like the audio, we talked about it, and the idea is nothing nefarious. Just the idea was we were going to do it during season 3 back in 2018. And then we were like, you know what? Nope, season's full. We got too many things. Let's just punt that to season 4. And then season 4 is all about the Mountains of Sea Trail. And we're like, okay, well now it's season 5. And then there just was no season 5. So we still have the audio. And my producer back then, James, and I are going to try to get you an episode on that. It is the hidden lost episode of Away Message. And we're going to get that out to you sometime in the next month or 2, something like that. So all that being said, I just want to say it means a lot, actually, for me to be able to talk to you here again. This podcast was maybe the most satisfying and fun and great, I don't know how to describe it, just a wonderful part of my career. I enjoyed it so much, and you don't know how much you all did just by listening to it. I am thankful that you listened to it. I am thankful that you are here again, and we're going to see what happens now, okay? So stick with me. We're going to have more stuff on this feed. I swear to you, it'll be here. It'll be at ncrabbithole.com. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.